Today, we will start with service to humanity as a value of social work. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
you are
ma'am, you are
audible.
audible.
Okay. Service to humanity is a base of social work which is aimed at human welfare. It means the utmost aim or goal of social work is service to humanity. Means social worker or social work agencies, they are working for well-being of human. Service to others is one of the core value of social work. This thing we have already discussed yesterday. Got it? Basically, the term service refer to a variety of programs, variety of activities made available by individuals, public or private agencies to individuals, families, and communities who need special assistance. Here, what do you mean by special assistance? Means they are needy or they are in some problem, they are suffering from some problems. That is the reason they need treatment or they need assistance. When any individual or a private agency or a public agency provide that particular assistance to needy person, it is known as service. Got my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as we move to next slide, here we can discuss service to humanity as a value of social work. Means social and economic insecurities. People are suffering from so many insecurities like old age issues, unemployment, disability, death of a person who is one and only earning member of the family. Now, what would be done? What will they do? They do not have anybody who is going to earn for their family. Now, private and public welfare organizations, they provide various forms of aids like free education, free healthcare facilities to them to remove their sense of insecurities. So here we can say social worker deal with the insecurities of individual, their family, and the society also. Humanity is all about building a bond among the member of the society with the help of sustainable value. It means people are creating network. People are getting bonded with each other to serve the society, to serve the needy people who are available in our own society. Next one is it is a kindness in all walk and all phases of life. Have you heard about the word sympathy and empathy? Can anybody explain the word sympathy and empathy? Sympathy is showing kindness, showing good behavior to others in difficult situation. And empathy, feeling the same what they are feeling. It means it is a sort of humanity. We all are human beings. We do have emotions, we do have feelings, we can understand the pain of others. Next point is the service provided by a professional social worker aimed at helping individuals, families, and groups to restore or enhance their capacity for effective functioning and work towards supporting the communities in the need. It means basically social worker is trying to help people so that that particular person or a group can develop his or their own capacity for betterment in the workstation, for betterment for the society also. This is very important topic. Principle of service to humanity. Principle of service to humanity. There are five or six principles. Few of them are. Number one is social workers ought to render their services on the ideal of brotherhood of men with an element of self-sacrifices. It means person is not thinking about himself or herself, but he is thinking about the whole society and the betterment of the society. Sometimes we say just out of the way जाके उसने help की, the person is helping beyond his limit. This is a simple example of the first principle. Second, social workers must acknowledge that servicing other is more important than self-interest and therefore place the need of others ahead of their own personal interest. It means, first of all, social workers should acknowledge that the person who is on other side, he is very important person because he is suffering from something. He is dealing with some trauma or he has some problem. So social worker should keep aside his self interest and personal interest and help the other one. Next is social workers must provide remedial, preventive, developmental, emotional, and supportive services to their clients, individual in groups, family, and communities. This thing we have already discussed yesterday. Preventive assistance there, providing remedial treatment, providing emotional support, on the basis of individuals need, sometimes group needs, group you can say a family is suffering from financial crisis so that they are not able to give good education to the kids, so you can provide financial help, or social worker or the social work agency can provide financial aid to the family. Next is keeping in view the duty towards the nation. Social worker must extend every possible service to the country and its policymakers for formulating people-oriented welfare policies. Here we need a trained and educated subject matter expert social worker who can be a participant or who can be a person who can suggest what should be done in that particular situation, what should be the policies, what should be the rules and regulations, so that individual group as well as society also can grow. Next point is social workers must provide services to humanity based on the professions theoretical base, which includes all the 12 values and principles, methods, techniques, and promote specifically identified and promoted by the profession. Here, we can say we have so many values, ethics, rules, regulations, principles. Some limitations are also there. Social worker should provide services to individual, group, family member, any sort of group on the basis of these rules and regulations and techniques. Social worker must connect client with systems and institutions that provide services, resources, support, and opportunities to humanity across the board. It means social worker should pass on the information related to the development and progress which are made by government or the authoritative management committee. Here we can take the example of any NGO which is working in the field of education sector. Now they are providing education to underprivileged children, prepare them to appearing in board exams. Suppose there is a one girl student, she has cleared her 12th standard exams. Now what she will do? Social worker should suggest her, or here he can or she can play the role of career counselor. She or he should provide her the information related to higher studies. What kind of scholarships are available, what kind of sponsorships are available for higher studies, and make sure that that particular student should follow the instructions and fill the form for the scholarship also and sponsorship also. Now we come to the point where we will discuss the major service areas of social work. Child and family services. N number of children are there who experience trauma, depression, loneliness. So it is responsibility of social work and social work agency to support and therapy to children who have these kind of experiences. Assistance to children as well as to their parents and guardian also, because sometimes children are not in that age that they can cope up with the situation. So it's the responsibility of the surrounding people who can guide them or who can take care of them. Variety of services for children and families such as family support, residential care, advocacy, adoptions are available. Here we can take the example of an orphan child. Suppose a child has lost his parents. Now, child care committee would take the child to the orphanage and make sure that a good family can or will adopt him so that he will get proper support in his future life. Till the time they provide him shelter, food, and clothes, basic necessity of the life. Next point is school social work. This is very important point nowadays. Here, a social worker will play the role of counselor, career counselor, or academic counselor, or a teacher. These people help those students who are facing school related issues and personal problems like bullying, like problem or adjustment issue with the classmates, peer group. Here, teacher who is a subject teacher, he or she will provide assistance related to academic performance, and counselor, a school counselor, will provide assistance related to his behavioral issue. In next point we will discuss about issues with or service issues with elderly people. N number of senior citizens or old age people are suffering from health issues, loneliness, empty nest feeling. Empty nest feeling is what? Suppose there is a couple, husband and wife both are alive, and their children, their kids are in abroad, or they have gone outside or out of the country or out of the city to make their career. Now their nest is empty because they do not have children at home. So the emptiness, this is called empty nest syndrome or empty nest feeling. Next, lack of emotional connect with the family members. Now what happened nowadays, nuclear family concept is very popular. If kids are out for getting education or out for their career, but parents who are leaving behind, they do not have emotional connect with their extended family members or their relatives. Now what will happen? They will feel very lonely. So here social worker will provide counseling to family member. Old age home facilities are available. Here we can take the example of Goodfellow. Goodfellow is a startup run by Shantanu Naidu. Shantanu Naidu is who? He is the general manager in Tata Sons and private secretary of Ratan Tata. He has started Goodfellows at the time of COVID on the basis of his own personal experience. He was suffering from COVID. He does not have anybody at home. His neighbor, an old couple, provided him food and medicines so that he can survive at the time of COVID. By experiencing that, Shantanu Naidu got an idea to run a facility or an agency named Goodfellows. Here, young people accompany or provided companionship to the seniors according to their need. They take them to the hospitals for medical checkup. They spend time with them in evening, and the Goodfellows agency, they recruit or they select young members of that particular agency on the basis of so many scrutinies. Another example is a startup in Gurugram is Gurgaon. Name is Senior World, founded by Rahul Gupta and MP Deepu. Basically, this startup aims to help senior citizens by helping them to become more independent, engaged, and active. They have started so many activities for them. A daycare center where senior citizens or elderly people can come and spend their time in different indoor games, also outdoor games also. Sometimes they are providing assistance to teacher who are working with NGOs related to educational sector. As we move to our next point or next major area of social work, that is mental health service. This is where nowadays this is very important area where social worker are working. In this area, they are addressing co-occurring disorder of persons with mental health issues like depression, phobia, nervousness, anxiety, addiction to drugs or addiction to gadgets like mobile addiction. Very common in teenagers nowadays, bipolar disorder. Social work involves in planning and delivery of a variety of services like building partnerships among professionals, caregivers and families, creating good environment for them, rehabilitation centers, behavior healing, educational gathering, group settings, medication assisted treatment, and psychological counseling. Here we can take the example of drug addiction in teenagers. Suppose 14 or 15 or 17 years old boy suffering from drug addiction. Then social worker, take him to the rehab center. Trained, medically trained person, treat them and provide them medication assistance. They make environment for them so that they can heal up with the situation, heal up with that particular problem. Next point is medical and public health services. People who have serious and chronic health problem, public health social worker provide them counseling sessions, take them to the experts. Sometimes medical condition affect emotional, financial, and social status also. Here we can discuss the emotional and financial status. One person is uh, has been suffering from some problem, health issues for a very long time. He is fed up with his situation. He is getting very irritated. He does not have people to talk. Some financial crunch is also there because he is spending and spending money for the treatment. Now what will happen? Again, he needs some emotional support also and financial support also. Here social worker take him to the takes him to the charitable hospital for free consultation and provides psychological counseling also. N number of examples are there where people cannot get organ donation. So agencies working for donation campaign, blood donation campaigns are available. These kind of social workers are known as medical and healthcare social workers. Our next point is community social workers. Social workers in the field of community development, community development can be found in many areas of practice and a variety of settings. He attempts to address the systematic issue that create social problem. Here we can take the example of social worker who work against child marriage ritual or child marriage custom in Rajasthan. We have a case study in your study material. It is mentioned there is a lady who is working against this particular custom. So what she is doing, she is working for the development of the community. Next point is migrant population and refugees. Migrant, what is migrant population? Can anybody explain? Okay, I'm telling you. Migrant people are those people who are moving one place to another place to get employment. And refugees are those people who move one place to another place due to some unfortunate thing, like due to war, due to earthquake, due to flood, and they take shelter in refugees camp. These people need help in adjusting to life in a new situation. Social worker help them find housing, jobs, and other resources. Generally, migrant people, they work for themselves. This is the case with refugees, where they need shelter also, food also, and sometimes jobs also. Langar facility is a very good example. Sikh community provide food to people who do not have anything to eat. Basically, in refugees camps, n number of langars facilities are available. Next point is industrial setting. Here we are talking about corporate world or in company setting. Company means multinational also, can be any sort of company, manufacturing unit or any industry. Here we find hidden competition among colleagues for promotions, increment tension are there, absenteeism is also available. People who are working there or employee are not able to concentrate at workstation. Apart from these kind of issues, they have some problems in personal life also, in personal from front also, like care of a small kids, aged parents, marriage issues, marital dispute with wife or spouse, and his or her own health related issues are also there. Social worker involves in helping the employees to develop their inner resources to perform better. Here, the industrial counselor or the counselor who are available in corporate world, they provide or they assist the employees and suggest them how to develop interest in workstation, what should be the how to use maximum capacity for workstation, and sometimes they suggest they suggest something for improving working conditions and policies to the management also, means employer also. Counselor work to suggest employee also and employer also. As we move to our next point, this is social justice. Social justice is the view that everyone deserves equal opportunity, either economic, political, or social rights. That includes fairness in healthcare, employment, housing, and more. Human rights are always respected, and discrimination is not allowed to flourish. Justice is about assuring the protection of equal access to liberties, right, and opportunities, as well as taking care of least advanced member of the society. As we discussed yesterday, also, social justice means all are equal without any discrimination on the basis of caste, race, gender, or social status. Or we can say we all are equal, we all have equal rights. Next point is ethical principles of social justice. Here we have almost 6 to 7 points. As a change agent, number one is as a change agent, social worker must challenge injustice in society, particularly in regard to vulnerable, disadvantaged, oppressed, exploited, and the poorest of the poor. Here we can take the example of daily wages worker. People who are daily wages worker, they get employment on day-to-day basis. So, as a change agent, social worker or the committees or social work agencies suggested government to make minimum wages rule. Like if person is working for 8 hours, then what would the salary he or she should get? Same the case with our house help. House help are getting very less salary, very less remuneration, but they work very hard. See, if we talk about working hours, definitely they work for less hours. So that's the reason they'll get less salary. But they work almost for 5 to 6 hours daily. So they should get this salary or monetary benefit according to their effort and hard work. Next point, social worker must pursue for fair distribution of resources so that the basic needs such as food, shelter, clothing Healthcare, education, and legal assistance are made available to everyone in the society. It means we have equal right, or we should have equal opportunity to use resources, such as in government hospitals, everybody has right to go there. In poor health condition, education system, everyone has right to get education, either person from a rich family or from a poor family. So these kind of assistance or these kind of resources should be available to each and everyone in the society. Our next point is social workers must relentlessly work towards ensuring equal right and equal opportunities without any discrimination of using the state and public social services for all citizens as ensured in the constitution of the country. As our constitution says, all are equal, all should get equal opportunities, equal rights, equal benefits without any discrimination, without any partiality. Our next point is social workers must focus on empowering clients by continuously convincing them that their action and their rights for social justice are not dictated by bias of the influential and powerful in the social, economic, religious, and political system of the country. Here it means social worker should provide guidance to the person that he has equal right to do anything. He should not get influenced. He should not get biased. He should not get directed or dictated by any other person. Either they are a religious leader or a political leader. They can do for themselves anything they can do. This is called empowerment. Here we can take the example of women empowerment, where social work agencies guide poor people, poor women, that you can empower yourself by getting some skills. And later on, you can use these skills to get employment, to get livelihood also. Our next point is social workers must recognize and respect the cultural diversity of the population it serves, taking into account the linguistic, religious, caste, class, gender, and socioeconomic status. Here it means social worker should respect all the cultures, all the religions, people who are from different part of the country. They use regional language, they have different kind of financial status, either they are male or female. Social worker should not discriminate. Next point is social worker must challenge oppressive and unjust policies and practice by drawing the attention of those in power, policymakers, politicians, employers, legal, constitutional experts, and general public also. Here, this point is talking about the wrongdoing, the wrong practice or wrong custom available in the society. Either they are made by politicians or policymakers or regional gurus or regional heads also. Social workers should talk about these wrong customs and try to challenge their policies so that they can be removed from the society. Next point is social workers have a duty to work towards ensuring an inclusive society where resources are inadequate, social exclusion, and stigmatization are rampant, and needy are well beyond the manageable limits. It's a very simple point. It is his duty that resources are available to each and everyone, should not be misused. Needy people get assistance, needy people get treatment also. As we move to our next point, the integration of methods of social work with social justice will enhance social workers' pursuit for number one, fair and equitable access to public services. Means each and everyone can use the public property, public resources. Equal treatment and protection under the law, challenge injustices, especially that affect the vulnerable and disadvantaged people. Here you can say equal treatment, equal assistance should be available for poorest of poor also. The client, when services in the best interest of the client are not available or accessible. Here, he or she should try to give access to the resources and facilities to the people who are not able to access. The elimination of all form of discrimination and make reasonable effort to promote conditions that respect the diversity of people. Here again, we are talking about discrimination. Elimination of all form of discrimination means reducing it, treating everyone without any discrimination, and make sure logical and reasonable efforts are there to promote conditions that respect the diversity of people. Elimination of poverty. Poverty is what? Can anybody explain?
Ma'am, I believe poverty is a state when we have lack of resources. Just
Yeah,
that is, ma'am. It's ma'am, it's not an identification of one's character or one's personality. It's just a state, ma'am.
yeah, you can say so. Elimination of poverty means uh, elimination or reducing the state of poverty, state of helplessness. Next is the equitable distribution of society resources to all people. They bring to the attention of employers, policymakers, politicians, and general public situations where resources are inadequate or where distribution of resources, policies, and practice are oppressive, unfair, and harmful. Again, the same meaning that everyone has right to use public resources or facilities provided by government, like government hospital facilities, government schools are available for poor people, and social worker should bring attention of employers and politicians and general public also that this thing is going wrong here. We should work on this so that these things can be improved. Our next point is importance of human relationship as a value of social work. Basically, social work is among the most valuable based on all, or you can say this is the best profession among all the professions. Social worker recognize the importance of human relationship. Social workers understand the relationship between and among people are an important vehicle of change. It means people When one person is getting together with another one, he will be able to make some change. Social workers engage people as partners in the helping process. He seeks to strengthen relationships among people in a purposeful effort to promote, restore, maintain, and enhance the well being of individuals, families, social groups, organizations, and communities. Here we can take a simple example of crowdfunding. I think you all use Facebook, you all are available in social media. N number of appeals are available, like this person is suffering from this disease, he does not have money, this is the account number and concerned person name and contact details, please help him. देखा होगा ना आप लोगों ने?
Yes, ma'am.
देखा है ना क्राउड फंडिंग के लिए. This is very simple example of human relationship. Suppose there is a one of my friend, he has appealed in Facebook that my house help is suffering from, or my house help son is suffering from this disease. She does not have money to get her son treated. So I appeal people, or I appeal my family members and friends to contribute something according to your capacity. Then what I will do, this is a trust issue now. Here, I can trust, I have trust, or I know my friend is absolutely a genuine person. If he is appealing for something, definitely his house help is suffering from something. Then I contributed, I donated some money. Simple example of group contribution. Personal sponsorship for education. Here we can take the example of a rich family which start a sponsorship or a scholarship on the basis of academic performance. Like suppose there is a very rich family or a industry person or a businessman, he wants to donate some money. N number of way are there to donate the money, but he wanted to spend money in education sector for a particular or one person education. Then what will he will do? He meets with the institutions or colleges or schools and say, if someone is getting 90% an hour, but he does not have good financial condition to go ahead for higher studies, then definitely I will provide scholarship in name of my late father so and so for his graduation in the field of mathematics, graduation graduation in the field of humanities. These kind of scholarship are known as personal scholarships or personal sponsorship. Sometimes these kind of sponsorships people get from employer also, from company also. Have you heard about HCL, which is a very good renowned software company? This is just for an example, this is nothing related to social work. This
Yeah,
is
yes,
related
ma'am. I have heard of it, ma'am. Basically, there are some corporations, that are providing some scholarship and fellowship to women, basically, who, जो पहले प्रोफेशनल वर्क करती थी, लेकिन उन्होंने किसी वजह से उसे डिसकंटिन्यू किया और फिर से वो प्रोफेशनली चीज़ों को कंटिन्यू करना चाहती हैं, तो वो उनके लिए
right.
प्रॉपर सपोर्ट देते हैं, मैम. यस.
Yeah. Second, they provide higher educations also. Suppose someone is BTech graduate and join HCL, after some time they uh, provide him. Give me a moment, I got a call from ma'am, just a moment.
Sure, ma'am.
Give me a moment, huh? Just 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we were discussing about personal sponsorship and scholarship.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
So,
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
I
Audible.
was giving you the example of HCL. What they will generally, what HCL, the policy for higher education in HCL is like someone, if someone is BTech graduate and he has joined HCL, after some time, according to his interest also, they provide him the facility to go for higher study or post graduation in the same field, which is MTech. They have collaboration with BITS Pilani. For that, people have to do, or employees have to do self study, and they can appear in the exam. They have some module for 15 days or 10 days where they get trained and they appear in the exam. Now, while working also, they can go for higher studies, and all the expenses bear by the company, or company has given the sponsorship. Same the case with Delhi Metro Organization, same the case with L&T in construction field. N number of NGOs are also available, or NGOs are there which provide sponsorship for higher education for social worker. Suppose someone has joined NGO after 12th standard or after completing 12 due to n number of, due to any reason, personal reason. Sometime if they have policy of higher education, then they ask the person to fill the form and go for graduation study. Graduation, they provide the fee. You here, you can work also and you can do study. You can study also. This
Ma'am,
is
there is one small doubt, ma'am.
yes.
Basically, curiously asking, ma'am. Basically, I just want to ask, ma'am, that if you are aware of it, ma'am, the support that these corporations are extending to their employees for higher education. So, just curiously asking, ma'am, trying to connect dot that whether they are utilizing CSR funding, they are showing it in their CSR expenditure, or they are doing it from their company
No,
expenditure, ma'am.
nahi.
Just trying to understand,
These
ma'am.
two things are very different thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Sponsorship for sponsorship for higher education to the employees. This is on contractual basis. The employees has to contract to sign a contract or sign a bond for next 5 years. He will not leave the company.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and CSR is corporate social responsibility. Here companies are working for underprivileged kids or working for people who are in need in different sector, in healthcare sector, in education sector, like Azim Premji Foundation. Azim Premji Foundation work in the field of education sector.
Yes, ma'am.
They Ajim Premji Foundation is CSR unit of their company, right? But in same case, if in other sorry, in other case, if employee of that particular organization want to go for MTech education, then he has to sign a bond for 3 years or 5 years. I have a case study in which a person who is working with L&T construction division, he has done his BTech from regional engineering college, worked for L&T for 2 to 3 years. Then he got opportunity to go for MTech from IIT Delhi, because IIT Delhi, in collaboration with L&T, they have developed a syllabus or developed a curriculum according to the need of L&T की constructions के लिए क्या और एजुकेशन की जरूरत हो सकती है. तो उनका जो टाइटल था उनकी डिग्री का, एमटेक इन कंस्ट्रक्शन मैनेजमेंट, मींस टेक्निकल आल्सो एंड मैनेजमेंट एस्पेक्ट्स आल्सो.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. इट डज नॉट कम अंडर CSR, it comes under employee benefit program. It's
Yes,
nothing
ma'am.
to do with CSR. That particular engineer has to sign a bond of 5 years. Means next 5 years, he, for next 5 years, he cannot switch the job. He will stay with the company. Okay? Now CSR, L&T has adopted a village in UP where this particular company's CSR department, working for the livelihood and infrastructure development for that particular village. They are working in uh, uh, road construction area and development in public park also, and development in school situation also.
Yes, ma'am.
Now CSR is different and employee benefit program is different. Got it?
गोट इट मैम. एंड मैम मैं अपना भी एक एग्जांपल शेयर करना चाहूँगा मैम. बेसिकली मैंने एक ऑब्जर्वेशन देखी मैम. एक फाउंडेशन है मैम आयुर्वेद. बेसिकली मैं स्पेसिफिकली नाम नहीं मेंशन करना चाहूँगा. वो किसानों के लिए काम करता है. तो वो किसान रिलेटेड प्रोडक्ट बनाता है जो मतलब किसान अपने यूज में लेके आ सकते हैं. तो उनकी CSR फंडिंग भी मैम वो किसानों के रिलेटेड ही फोकस्ड है. तो
अच्छा.
वो मैम बहुत ही स्ट्रेटेजिकली जिस भी एरिया में काम कर रहे हैं वहीं पे CSR प्रोजेक्ट अपने इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं. एंड वो ट्राई करते हैं कि वो मोबिलाइज करें, फार्मर्स को इन्फ्लुएंस करें अपनी कंपनीज के प्रोडक्ट के लिए. यानी CSR फंडिंग तो इम्प्लीमेंट कर ही रहे हैं, उस प्रॉपर सोसाइटी में एरिया में बेनिफिट दे रहे हैं. तो किसानों को मतलब लग रहा है कि ये कंपनी बेसिकली उनके हित के लिए है. तो वो उस तरीके से CSR फंडिंग को मोबिलाइज कर रहे हैं एंड एट द सेम मोमेंट दे आर सेलिंग देयर प्रोडक्ट टू फार्मर्स. तो ये मैम जस्ट एक ऑब्जर्वेशन है जो मैंने रियल लाइफ में देखा मैम.
हाँ, हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है. बेसिकली CSR डिवीजन is established for tax saving,
यस
because
मैम.
whatever they spend in CSR, they get tax rebate on this. So that is the reason. So a number of things are there which we will not discuss here.
Right मैम.
चलो.
यस मैम.
Our next point is characteristics of an effective relationship. Here we are talking about network between people. Relationship between people. First point is nurture and promote an ordered worldview. Means collection of attitude, value, stories, and expectations about the world around us, which inform our every thought and action. वर्ल्ड व्यू क्या है? हम जिस नजरिए से दुनिया को देखते हैं या जिस नजरिए से दुनिया हमें देखे. सो इफ effective relationship between two people or two humans, one can be social worker, one can be client, another can be client, or two social worker, or two in general human being. Promote hope means always talking about positive things. We give hope. Hope is directly related to positive outcome or positive result. I hope it will be good for us. I hope I would get good marks. I hope that person will get treated and cure from that particular disease. This is hope. So it's a responsibility, characteristics of a effective relationship, that social worker provide positive hope to the needy person, promotes timely withdrawal and initiatives. It means guide that particular person when to start and when to stop. Next, provide guidance. Means what is the right way of working? How should you deal with it? Advice to take right thing. Next point is provides a communication channel with the social world. It means making network. Nowadays social media is a very good channel or very good platform for making network, one person to another person. N number of appeals are there. Someone is hospitalized in particular hospital and needs this blood group, blood of this blood group. Up, they appeal people, please come and donate blood. Now, what is that? Providing a communication channel to help the needy person. Next point is affirms one's personal identity, means acknowledging the strength, the quality, the merits of person who is on other side. Try to understand the capabilities of your client. Next point is provide material help, means materialistic things, money, food, clothes, medicines. Next point is ensure adequate rest. Here we are talking about our physical tiredness. Person should take rest without any disturbance, short nap, sleeps, without noise, any sort of disturbance. Mobilize other personal support, means organizing people to support something. Here again we can take the example of blood donation camp. Have you heard about a campaign run by or uh, uh, there was an ad related to eye donation uh, done by Amitabh Bachchan or Aishwarya Rai Bachchan? I do not remember. It's almost 20 years back. So what happened? People go and registered themselves for eye donation. This is what mobilize other personal support, organizing people to support something. Uh, Long back, Amitabh Bachchan, a senior actor in film industry, I used to say, or we used to say, ad related to polio drop. He used to appeal, just go and take polio drop and or give polio drop to your kids below 5 years. Have you heard about that particular ad or campaign?
Yes, ma'am. I have heard of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when he is appealing, then people are watching him. That Amitabh Bachchan is here to appeal and asking us to go for to get polio drops to our kids. Here, what happened? That particular agency or welfare association, he mobilized personal support of Amitabh Bachchan to get people to support something. Here, what is a good cause? Then polio drop is very important for small kids. Amitabh Bachchan is appealing, and people are taking their kids to get polio drops. Effective relationship. Got my point?
Yes, ma'am. Completely got it, ma'am.
Our next point is the concept of dignity. Basically, dignity is a very personal thing. It is self-worth or inner worth. It's a individual's quality, a quality of being worthy of honor or respect. Dignity and worth of a person as one of the core social work value along with service, social justice, importance of human relationship, integrity and competence. There are few points directly related to dignity, which we are going to discuss. Direct practice with person in need, client or justice seeker. It means that the social workers need to have faith in the inherent worthiness and respect of all individuals, groups, and communities. Here we can take the example of person or a social worker who is working in healthcare sector and providing services without any discrimination on the basis of religion. Either he is a Hindu or a Muslim or a Jain or a Christian. Everybody should get equal treatment in healthcare sector. Here, we should not do partiality. Next point is practice of dignity with organizational staff and colleagues. It means you should not only respect or restricted to one person who is in need. It also extend to institutional practice. Your colleague, your co-worker, your staff, your subordinates, your juniors, your support staff, without any discrimination. Generally, people or employer hire the staff on the basis of qualification, not on the basis of gender, not on the basis of religion, not on the basis of any other thing. They hire people just on the basis of qualification and capabilities. As we move to our next point, practice of dignity by state and structural institutions. The social worker to work towards policy making and programs that ensure the respect and worthiness of all people. It means if someone is taking advantage of reservation or he or she comes under reservation criteria, then also social worker should respect him. Person with disability, here you can say, like, we do have opportunities for disabled people in employment sector, in government agencies also. Here we can take another example. While making any dam or a railway line or a land for infrastructure development, generally government take land from that particular area. People who are
Madam,
staying there.
ma'am, this is Smriti Garga.
Yeah, ma'am, tell me.
Ma'am, just I have to announce. Actually, some of the learners are trying to join; they could not join. So I made Gurjot a co-host and Pallav a co-host. They can enter the learner during the meeting.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Please, Gurjot and Pallav, please help them when they
Okay,
try to
ma'am.
join.
Okay, ma'am.
Should I start or should I resume, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Resume.
Okay,
You can
thank
start.
you. Just a moment. Just where we are. Yes. While making, we were discussing about infrastructure development. So while making dam or a railway line, setting a railway line or infrastructure development, government take land of that particular area and ask people to leave that place. Now it is the responsibility of government agency to rehabilitation of displaced people. People, social worker are working on this, or social work agencies are working on this issue. We have n number of examples of dam like Tihri Dam, New Tihri Dam, Narmada Bachao Andolan, All these movements are for rehabilitation of the displaced people. Our next point is practice of dignity by the society at large. Here, the belief that all people hold a special value that's tied solely to their humanity. It has nothing to do with their class, gender, religion, and ability, or any other factor. Social work agenda should also include promotion of dignity as a way of life in society at large by spreading awareness. Simple, very simple meaning of this point is we all are equal. We all have equal rights to use our resources. We all are a respected citizen of India. We all have equal rights, constitutional right to get education, to get medical facilities, and to use public resources also. As we move to our next point, strength based social work practice. Here we will discuss about the qualities and merits of a person who is in need. Everybody has his own qualities, own merits, own demerits, capability of doing something. People have strength and resources of their own empowerment. Number one point is every individual, group, family, and community has a strength. Means we are talking about qualities of an individual, physical qualities or mental qualities, mental capabilities. Someone is good as a sports, physical strength is there. Someone is good in studies, mental strength is there. Next, trauma and abuse, illness and struggle may be injurious, but they may also be source of challenges and opportunity. Here, we can say people who are facing some kind of trauma or abuse, maybe they got injured, but after that, later on, they are coming with a great strongness and power. Here we can take the example of Miss Lakshmi. She was an acid attack victim or acid attack survivor. Long back, when she was 16 years old, a person attacked him with acid, and she was, I don't know how many percentage of burn were there, but she's alive. She survived. And she started working for acid attack victim. Now she is running an NGO. She has gone to USA. She has given so many lectures and TED talk about acid attack victim and suggesting them how to go ahead in life, how to do better in life. Here she has used her own qualities, her own power, her own willingness to come forward. Next, assume that you do not know the upper limit of the capacity to grow and change, and take individual, group, and community aspirations seriously. Here, simple means, very simple meaning of this point is sky is the limit. You do not know what will trigger you to perform better. Sometimes we see in education sector, बहुत होता है schools में, a student who is not ready to study, not interested in study, in 9th standard or 10th standard, all of a sudden he get inspiration from his senior or his teacher or his mentor, and he started working on his study and performing well. I know one of the IPS officer case, he got just below 50% marks in 10th, 12th and graduation. At the time of post-graduation, when he was doing MA, in previous, he was doing okay. After 6 months, he met with a senior person or senior student in his company. He realized the value of education and he started studying seriously, very seriously. And after completing his MA post graduation, he cleared the UPSC exam. N number of IPS officers or IAS officers shows their mark sheets that we have not done in school, we have not done good in schools and colleges, but now we are here. What they have done? They have done, they have used their own qualities. Next point, we best serve client by collaborating with them, client's wisdom and knowledge. Here, simply the social worker is guiding the client to use his brain, knowledge, education, and information. Means what is the right field you should work on. Suppose someone is good in studying, but he wants to become a sports person, but physically he is not that strong. Then what is the responsibility of social worker? He should tell him or guide him that you can take sports as your hobby and you should go ahead with your studies because you are good in studies. Client wisdom and knowledge says his own capacities, own capabilities. Like you here, you can take example of yourself also. You know, you like something and you are good in something. Sometimes what happen? You want to career in particular field, but you are not good in that. And if you are good in something, but you don't want to make career in that, then it's the responsibility of social worker or your career guidance, your career guide or career counselor responsibility to guide you to take the right decision according to your education. Our next point is, give me a minute. You are able to see the PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
As we move to our fifth point, every environment is full of resources. Here, we are not talking about general environment, we are talking about family environment and society environment. Means hidden power of relationship. Every child looks to his parents for security, look to friends for happiness, for jolliness. This is the hidden power of every and any relationship. We look to our siblings, our sister and brother, for what? For bonding, for closeness. We can share our things with them, our feelings with them. Same the case with friends. We share our happiness, our sadness, our good things, bad things with the friends. We feel secure when our parents around us. Parents are available. We look forward to them for these kind of securities, financial securities, emotional securities. So here, social worker need to understand the quality of his client and try to make him understand that your environment is full of resources. You are very blessed, you are very blessed, you have uh, you are very privileged, you are very blessed, you have parents, you have friends, you have sisters, you have brothers with whom you can share your feelings, you can uh, share your happiness. You can talk to them about anything. Next points, caring, caretaking, and context. Here, caring takes conscious effort, time, and emotional support. Means the person who needs care and the person who is giving care, equally important. They give equal effort, time, and emotional support to each other. Caring strength our social web, our interconnectedness. Means if I care for my friend, then definitely he or she will reciprocate the same. Reciprocate means the same feeling she has for me and I have for her. Strong bonding. What would be the outcome? We strong our bondness, our relationship, our mutual relationship. We talk about best friends. What is best friend? What is the meaning of best friend? Means in thick and thin, he or she is available for us. Same case, I am available for her or I am available for him. This is strengthening our social web. Next point or our next topic is challenges or hurdles to human dignity. Poverty. Poverty and evils like unemployment and literacy definitely affect human dignity. Because of unemployment, our youth are going on wrong way, doing wrong things. Illiteracy, because of lack of literacy, people are not able to get good thing in life. So this is a very big hurdle, individually also and in society level also. Next point, blind approach to development. It is simply following something without knowing or without forecasting the result. Here we can take the example of n number of development projects of river linking projects, dams. A large number of people are being displaced by the state, but they are not getting any reimbursement. They now they are in poor state. This is not their fault. What will they do? Here we can take the example of at the time of Commonwealth Games, slum area of Delhi was removed. Government agencies or government of Delhi asked them to shift to another place or periphery of Delhi. But it was very difficult for them because they are staying in slums. Some of them are working in any industry or manufacturing unit. Now they are they are being moved to almost 15 or 20 kilometers from that area. It is very difficult for them to come to their workplace. It is very difficult for them to get shelter. They are making temporary house. Here what happened? Government agencies just people who are working for government, they just follow the instructions of government, remove their shelter, remove that particular slum area from the city. This is simply a blind approach to development. Caste system. Caste system is a very big challenge nowadays. Discrimination among the people on the basis of their caste. Initially, in our old system, we have 4 words: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Everybody has their own decided work to do. But as we get progressed, as we get development, now everything or every employment is for everybody. Again, Nowadays also we find caste system available in our society. People discriminate on the basis of their caste. This is a very big challenge to human dignity. Next is patriarchy. Here, patriarchy, simple meaning, male dominating family or male dominating society. Men hold the power and control a disproportionately large share of social, economic, political, and religious activity. They are the decision maker. In male dominating families, male, the father or the brother is the decision maker. They take decision for education of female member of the family. This kind of situation is known as patriarchy. Only male members have all the power and control. This is simply not acceptable. Female as a human being has her own rights to get education, has freedom to speech, has freedom to get any to use any sort of resources. After certain age, she is able to take her own decision related to education, related to future life, related to marital life also. Next point is communalism. The constitution holds India as a secular nation that identifies with idea of unity and diversity. In spite of that claim, people show loyalty to a socio-political grouping based on religious or ethnic affiliation. It means here we can take, I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling, but here we can take the example of RSS, Swam Sevak Sangh. We can take the example of this Khalistani movement. We can take the example of any religion based group which are working only for the religious people, their own religion people. They are not working for other people. This is communalism. Our country faced horrific crimes like anti-Sikh riots in 1984, Gujarat genocide of 2002, Muzaffar Nagar violence in 2013. This is war. War between two communities. This is very harmful to our country. This is very harmful to human dignity too. Now, how to deal with challenges faced by human dignity? Number one, knowledge. It comes from education and information. Social worker should be well educated and well informed and should have knowledge about particular law, particular policy, so that he or she can guide the people. Next point is skill. Skill of negotiation, communication, networking, and persuasion. Sometimes people have knowledge, but they do not have art of communication or art of delivering things. Social worker should have that skill. From the help of that particular skill, he or she will be able to convince people by communicating his or her thoughts, feelings, the right information, will be able to make network for the good things. Next, values and ethics. This is simply following the principle, rules, and regulations. Here we can take the example of juvenile crime. In juvenile crime field, n number of rules are there. If someone has committed crime and she is or he is an underage, then social worker or you person who is working for that particular person, that particular criminal, should simply follow the principle or rules or law which are made for that particular situation. Simply, this is not only related to the crime, related to anything. Here we can take the example of education also, we can take the healthcare facilities also, we can take the example of refugees also. Next is attitude. Attitude is a very personal quality of social worker. Always have positive mindset that yes, we can do it and we will get the positive result. These are the things, or these are the points with the help of where any social worker can deal with the challenges on the way of human dignity. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Our next point is integrity. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. Honesty, refusal to lie, मतलब कि हमेशा सच बोलना, झूठ ना बोलना. Probity, behaving correctly, हमेशा सही काम करना. Always do the right thing. Righteousness means being right. Always take the side of right. Trustworthiness, the ability to be relied. Trustworthiness is a very important point. It means you are the person who is very trustworthy. Anybody can rely on you. कहते हैं ना बहुत भरोसे का बंदा है, हम कर सकते हैं भरोसा कि वो ऐसा कभी कोई गलत काम नहीं करेगा. So basically integrity include honesty, probity, righteousness and trustworthiness. All these points, these are very, very, very personal qualities of an individual. Now, how integrity connected in different levels: personal, social and professional level. First point is integrity at personal level. As just 2 minutes ago we have discussed, integrity is a very personal value, very personal quality. One should know how one would react in a particular situation. Means according to the behavior or gesture, anyone can judge what kind of reaction he or she is going to get. But this is not the ultimate outcome or ultimate or absolute right prediction. It shows the partial image of an individual. Like this is simply based on one-to-one conversation. Here we can take the example of friends. You have one friend who is always good to you, never lie, very, very trustworthy. Now, you have good experience with your friends. It does not mean someone else would have or will have good experience with your friend also. It depends on situation. But in general, we know that particular person is very good in conversation, very good in behavior, very good in gesture. He respects everybody and shows affection to uh, kids and always convey regards to elders. It does not mean that he cannot lose his temper. It totally depends on the situation. Next point is integrity at social level. Social level, a set of human values that help groups or societies to stay together and in harmony. Here we can take the example of our family also. Whenever we talk about Mr. Shivastav and his family. This is just for an example. Oh, they are very good people, very nice family. Everybody is very good in his family. Generally, we talk like this about our neighbors, about our family friends, about our relatives. Okay? This is a general example in society level. In social work agency or in social work setup level, we can say or we can take the example of a group or social work agency which work for or which involved in helping differently able kids. They provide logical connection between differently able people and the caregivers. Suppose here we can take the example of National Association of Blind. Each and every worker of that particular organization, they are well trained. They have some set of rules how to deal with visually impaired people or partially blind people. They inculcate those values. How should they behave with these kind of people? This is integrity at social level. As we move to our next point, integrity at professional level. Here, morally good and right conduct at workstation, standing for something. It involves high level of commitment to one's profession, especially when we talk about social work profession. We have one case study available in your study material. In next slide, we are going to discuss with it. 30-year-old George Johnson, project coordinator at Life Help Center, a school for children with special needs, run by an NGO in Natipora area of Srinagar, is waging his own battle with a bunch of 9 children affected by autism, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, and Down syndrome. Here, George Johnson says, I refuse to leave this place without my students when the local volunteers came for rescue operations. It is difficult to evacuate these children via boats as the flood water can cause panic among them. Keeping them in rescue shelter is also not feasible, as the people there would not know how to deal with them. I choose to be with these children in these hours of need, Johnson adds. What is the meaning of that particular case study? What do you understand by this? Can anybody say here we are discussing integrity and at professional level? Inner meaning of this particular case study also present the integrity at personal level too, personal level also. Can anybody answer my question? What do you understand by this case study?
Ma'am,
Anybody?
I believe it's a sense of responsibility that
Yeah,
reflect.
explain it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
बताओ क्या समझ में आया इस केस स्टडी से? Can anybody tell me what do you understand by this case study? Okay, I'm telling you. A George Johnson means a caregiver, a social worker who is in a position of project coordinator in Life Help Center. This particular NGO is working for children who are suffering from autism, some kind of Down syndrome. At the time of flood is a natural disaster. At the time of flood, he refused to leave his place, but means he was not ready to go without his kids from that particular area, because the kids who are suffering from autism may get panic because of water, because of flood, because of that particular situation. So, being a caregiver, he cannot leave them and he cannot take them to the shelter also. Why? Because rescue shelter also, because the people who are staying there would not be able to understand how to deal with these kind of kids who are suffering from autism. Now it shows the inner quality of that particular person, that particular caregiver, George Johnson, at professional level. What kind of quality, what a good person he is. He's 100% dedicated to his profession without any discrimination. Nobody knows what kind of people, what kind of kids they are. They are male, they are girl child, or a boy child, or they are elderly people, or they are teenagers. Nobody knows about them. But there are 9 people battle with this kind of disability, and their caregiver is not ready to leave them in any situation. It shows the high integrity quality of that particular person. Should I conclude now?
Sure, ma'am. We can.
Done? Chalo, good night, everyone.
Good night,
All
ma'am.
right, ma'am. Take care.
Good
Bye.
night, ma'am.
Tomorrow I have
Good
left
night,
one
ma'am.
point in block 3 of the 6th unit. Tomorrow I am going to cover it, and then we'll start block 4. Okay?
No problem, ma'am.
Until the block 3, from 1 to block 3, if you have any problem, let me know. Okay?
Sure, ma'am. Sure,
Sure,
ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
there is a small feedback, ma'am, basically.
Yes. Ask me.
मैम बेसिकली जिन कॉन्सेप्ट में जो डिस्कशंस में आप एंगेज करती है मैम, जैसे मैम आपने इस स्टोरी में एंगेज किया, हम लोगों से पूछा कि हम लोगों को क्या समझ में आया, तो मैम ये कॉन्सेप्ट पर्सनली मुझे मैम बहुत ही क्लियर होते जा रहे हैं, और बाकी कॉन्सेप्ट मैम जिनको केवल हम डिस्कशन करते हुए आगे बढ़ते हैं, मतलब विदाउट एंगेजमेंट, तो मैम वो कॉन्सेप्ट ना मैम थोड़े से ब्लर हो जाते हैं ओवर द टाइम. तो मैम
Okay,
मुझे
next
लगता है
time से what I'll do, if I give any example, then
Yes,
I will
ma'am.
ask you people for the same kind of example.
श्योर
थोड़ा
मैम,
सा समझ लो
डेफिनेटली.
आपको. Before coming to the class, just study little only. थोड़ा सा.
डेफिनेटली मैम. यस
If-
मैम.
Okay.
यस मैम.
If I present some example, or if I give some example, then I would expect the same kind of example from you also. It would be a great interactive session then.
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo,
Yes,
ठीक
ma'am.
है.
Sure.
Take care. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night, ma'am.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.